Well, I figured we'll get started here, keep it quick. Tonight, 2 subjects, and oh, they're so simple subjects, just pitching and the wedge. Of course, this. Okay. There it goes. So the prelims to a pitch. Everyone take a guess what like a couple of them are?
A preliminary of a pitch.
What happened before? Well, here's this. We all know, when does a pitch begin?
I would say when she's got 1 foot on the rubber and her plant foot down and look into the catcher. No.
Separation of the hands.
When her
Right.
hand, when her hands,
When her hands
Right.
separate.
Yeah.
when her hands go up.
Okay.
Now, what you mentioned are part of the prelim,
Right.
which I know we spell right. The biggest one is she's got to step on the mound with her hands apart. And this is important because it trickles down.
All right.
It's actually, she can't be into position if the catcher's not in position to receive a pitch, which I'll be honest, it gets overlooked at almost every level, I could say. Because I can tell you how many times a college pitcher gets on the rubber, catcher ain't ready, and we don't make her
Right.
step off or do anything. So
Exactly.
Let me ask you this, if she comes onto the rubber with her hands together, do you right away call illegal pitch?
put your arm out, legal pitch. Now, if somebody now you let it keep going because the offense has the advantage of hitting it if they want to, you know. And
Right.
then you get into that. I'll tell you, most times, if you call, she gets on, you call legal pitch, she's gonna stop and get off, and now you just call the illegal pitch.
Right.
Okay, interesting. So you don't kill it at that point initially.
Don't just, now this is new. Both feet inside the 24-inch plate, pivot foot on the plate, non-pivot foot in contact or behind the plate. Both feet do not need to be on the plate anymore. Oh, let me, oop. I'm gonna say, oh, I don't want that. Oop. While on the plate, take or appear to take. I don't care if she daydreams. I mean, it really is one of those. Whereas, yes, just appear to take a signal. I'm sorry, I'm just making sure we're not. Oh, where is this? Oh, hold on here. Oh, there it is. I put, okay. I just want to make sure nobody's trying to get in. So, appear to take or take a signal. This is a big one. Oops. With the hand separated. This what we'll see how this goes. It's so awful down here, but that's why it's important that they come on with the hands apart, take their signal with the hands apart, because now when they bring the hands together, that's when we're starting to pitch. That's when the batter knows it's coming. Now, new with the hands coming together, at any time before or as the hands are together, they can take a backward step. So even if that foot is back behind the pitching rubber, they can actually replant it. Now, for us doing college, they can't replant. They can start back, but it's got to stay there.
Here we go.
Yeah, but here in USA, they're very liberal. they can pretty much, if once those hands are together, they can do anything. Now, once they separate, where we started the pitch, they can't go back. You know, that foot can't go any farther back. I actually have a nice little video here. Whoop. There, I think it did let somebody in. It did let in.
Yes, get in here.
And this is really, don't be scared of it. I feel like a lot of people are reaching out to me and they're nervous about not knowing it, what to do. It is not a major change. It's big, it's good, in my opinion. I'll get into that later. But I don't want you to think that this changes everything, all the work that you've already put into everything. It's just a matter of understanding what you can and can't do. So the important thing to know is that there's two different options and different organizations are using each of the rules. So there's the start back rule and there is the step back rule. So the start back rule is for college and also PGF. The step back rule is for USA softball, USSSA softball, and also high school. So they have similarities, but there also are differences that are important for you to know. So let's start with the start back rule. For the start back rule, your front foot still needs to be on or in contact with the pitching rubber as you take the sign. Your back foot will start in one place as you take the sign, and then when you hit the ball, then it will stay in that position as you move back and go into your windup.
And that's college.
About and for college and travel ball is that both feet needed to be in contact with the pitching rubber. With the start back, it can start as little as a centimeter off of it, or it can be 6 inches behind it. What will feel the most powerful your windup. So if I'm a pitcher with the start back rule, I would go ahead, get my front foot, signal, get my foot stay still, and I go through my windup. That's the start back. The step back is a little bit different in the sense that you have more movement with your back foot, which is your stride foot. Left foot for right-handed pitchers, and the opposite for lefties. So, step back. Put my back foot as I go wherever. And then my hands together. That back foot can step back and then go. So wherever I take the signal from, I have movement to then step back and go into my windup. So very, very, very different. One will start in terms of just your left foot if you're a right-handed pitcher. Not different in terms of your front foot. That can stay exactly the same. One will have movement and one will stay completely still. In my opinion, I like the start back better. If I was a pitching coach teaching,
And we don't need to know her pitching coach. But as you can see, it's the big thing is make sure they're inside the 24 and they're taking the hands are important. They can take that step back before the hands come together, as the hands come together, as the hands are together. But once they separate, everything's got to be going forward.
So you say, as the hands are together, so they're gonna have movement while they're looking in for the sign and under that scenario, I
No.
guess.
We're already past the sign. Once they come on, hands separated. They look in, they take their sign. Now, there's got to be that pause. They've got to take a sign. They've gone away from the word pause. They still have the 1 second with the hands together. Oh, so that's important. Don't make sure they're not doing just a quick bang like this. They got to come together. It can be moving as they come together for the 1 second. But that's why they move the paws off of the hands onto that simulation of the signal.
What about if their hands are together and they kind of have the signal in their mind and they kind of jerk with their body a little bit, but they don't separate their hands because maybe they're questioning whether they really want to throw that pitch or something. Like at first they think they've got it and then they reconsider, but they've already like jerked their body a little bit.
Their hands are still together, so we haven't started the pitch, and they're loud movement.
Okay.
Yeah, college, it would be illegal, but USA and high school, their hands are still together. They're still loud movement.
Okay.
It's once they separate is where now we've started the pitch. We got to be moving forward.
Okay.
Things fall on me. Now this is from the state stuff. The state sent this out. Now the pivot foot, or not the pivot, but a non-pivot foot cannot be in front. They actually have, and it's got to be within. They got this nice diagram. That goes through all the legal and illegal. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
I cleaned my room,
Okay.
except I left the laundry basket there because I like to make it in my laundry basket.
Okay. You can go get in your laundry basket back. It's so nice to be 8-year-old. Oops. Oh, I want to go back, I think. So yeah, so you can see all the positions with the pivot foot on the mound, both feet within 24, and a non-pivot foot behind or on are all legal.
Okay, let's hold on there a second.
Like you can see some of the illegal ones, top right, you're getting outside the 24. Then you got the actual number 5 right in the middle. Neither foot's on. And then number 7, you have your pivot foot on the mound and non-pivot. I guess they're starting outside. Oh, they don't show anyone with pivot on and pivot in front. Odd.
Okay, and number 8. What's the difference between the empty circles and the dark circles that say NP?
I know the finishing position's the white one. So she's finishing
Okay.
with her foot outside the 24. Which is illegal.
Okay, in number 8, that's probably her step back, the white one that she steps back outside the 24.
Yep, that's one where she's all set. She's set up perfectly within. Then when she steps back, instead of going straight back, she's going off to the side.
Okay, got it.
This is from the state I'm using here. A step back may be taken before, simultaneously with or after the hands are brought together. Allows pitchers a backward step from the pitcher's plate. And in pitcher, this is comment from our state. The pitcher may step back regardless of whether she started with both feet on the pitcher's plate or with one foot behind the pitcher's plate. Hands and feet stepping back as it relates to when the hands come together is more liberal. The USA and high schools, very liberal. But once the hands have separated, beginning the pitch, the step back is not permitted. Big change, they made this change in 2020. We never got to use it. The big thing is let's call legal pitches now because a runner on base is not forced to move. The effect now of the legal pitch is just a ball in the batter. Oh, I'm doing about, oh, hold on, sorry. So I know in past years, and even myself, when you're wanting to call legal pitch, you got runners on first and second, it's a third inning, the girl hasn't done it all game, and now she does one. And you're like, I really don't want to call it and move the batters up in a close game. You don't have to worry about that. It's a lot less of a penalty, so please call it.
Right. Listen, can you hold 1 second? Something you said at the end of the other screen, when she separates her hands, she can step backwards with her left foot, can't she?
No. Just separate, whoop, 1, 2.
That's how she gets her momentum, I would think.
No, her hands are together. Once she separates, now everything's got to go forward. She can come together like this, come up and step back at the same time, come down and separate, and she's moving forward. That's fine.
Okay.
It's if she separates and then leans back, and takes that. Now, there's a difference. Let me get that. There's a difference between lean and step. If she's
Right.
rocking, that's not a step. We are literally talking about a step. The foot coming off the ground or sliding backwards. Oops, trying to see you guys. I got you over here.
Hey,
Okay,
Sean,
so-
how's this? Once her hands come apart, if the non-pivot foot replants any farther back than where it was, it's an illegal pitch.
Exists. Yep.
Okay, good summary, yeah.
Yep. And the best way to put that for college is that goes from, for us, it's when the hands separate. For college, it's when she sets. When she first takes that simulated, when she first comes on and sets, that's when she can't move back.
Okay.
And then remember also on an illegal pitch, if the batter reaches first base and all others runners advance for one base, the play stands.
So that's not all other runners that are forced to advance. It's a little different, right?
Yes, this is all runners. So if you have second and third and you have an illegal pitch and the runner gets first, that coach still could take the outcome of the play or the illegal pitch. Because those batters from second and third did not advance one base, or the runners. And about, thank you.
Okay.
Anyone have any questions? This is, it's not bad. We just really need to start calling legal pitches. And this isn't a comment on us. This is across softball. They're not, it's funny because what happens is you see in the NCAAs, they get the playoffs and somebody who's been calling illegal pitches calls 20 of them on a D1 pitcher. And yes, she's illegal, but nobody's called it all year.
Right. If you call it, they'll adapt. If you don't call it, they'll cheat as much as they can.
Yeah. Well, I still remember, yeah, thank you. And Tioga had a big girl that could really pitch.
Yeah, she was at both feet off the ground.
Oh, I banged her in the first inning. And I kind of go, give the thing of, coach, you want me to say why? Big girl goes, no, I got you. You're good.
Yeah,
Pitches
I
leave the
know.
rest of the game.
Yeah, I explained it to her Union Springs.
Oh, I don't think you need to explain to her. She knew exactly what she was doing.
What do you mean? Kind of like a crow hop sort of thing?
Yep. And
Absolutely.
but she knew that she did in the first inning, and some umpires would let her. But the second I hit her on the second pitch, it was literally like, nope, I'm good. So it's
Gotcha.
sorry about that. We're good.
Right,
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it till you call it. She knew what she was doing.
Yep.
right.
Yes, she did. Mechanic changes. Oh, tonight, the other thing I want to do is go over the wedge, which is a wonderful thing. New York State has started doing with plays at home. If you see there, the nice wedge we have. We're moving more and more. Now, I could talk about it a little bit, but I actually found a pretty good video I liked a lot that we're gonna watch. And it's actually nice because they do it from a drone from above. Takes a second.
Let's talk about the wedge theory at the plate. So point one, starting position, right? Our catcher, we know, is going to go forward to the front of the plate. Our plate umpire is going to stay in this spot that he started the play, right behind where the catcher was. That puts us in a good distance relative to where he is. We're not going to react to that movement forward. We know that movement is going to happen, right? That movement takes him into his starting position. I'm in my starting position. You can see it's still that comfortable 6 to 8 feet away from the base, which is what you can really employ at any of the bases, and maybe even slightly closer at first and third. He goes straight forward, we go straight forward, because now we know that as he receives the ball and starts to come back to the play, we can move into the play like this, right? And if it continues to become a more severe swipe tag, he continues to reach, we continue to move. He takes another step, we take another step. And just like I showed the one group at first base yesterday, some of these plays turn into a circle, a chase. And if he's chasing the runner, we're going to chase the catcher, and we're going to stay right off of his inside hip. All right, let's do another example. He's going to move. This is the one that really can get you if you're not following the steps of the system. So if he goes into foul territory on the left side, okay, and if we have assumed a starting position here, or assumed an adjustment, and we started to go this way, this is the one that gets you in trouble, because now look how far away we are from him and from our intended position, which would really be right here, moving with him. Because now we're going to let him take us back to the play, which we don't know if it's going to be a slap tag in front of the guy. Give me a runner here. If he's going to slap it in front of him, and then this becomes a really good spot, looking at it right here. Or if the runner's going to try to avoid the tag, and now it becomes a more severe swipe tag, which can continue to develop, and then I can continue to adjust to, right? So it's really hard because you've been taught to assume a play is going to assume a certain type of play. And most of those types of plays in levels below professional baseball, and really including professional baseball now because of the collision rules, are swipe tags, because you can't have contact, which means that you're going to have a runner who is bowing out to avoid that contact. And so when you go here, a lot of times this ends up working out for you. But like Chris was talking about yesterday, those are the 95% plays. Those are the plays that anybody can get right. What we're trying to teach is for those 5% plays that develop in a way that you need to put yourself in a position to be able to react to them. And applying these techniques is going to do that for you. So starting position, we move with him. We don't overreact outside of his body. So let's show another overreaction. He goes foul, that same spot again. He goes foul. The overreaction here, right there is good. The overreaction here would be to go outside of his body, this way, right? There's nothing for us out here, because we know if the catcher is on this side of the play or the plate, the play and the runner is going to be on that side. The runner's not going to run into him. He's going to run away from him. And so if we take ourselves to the opposite side of his body, now we've put ourselves in a spot where it's possible that we're going to get obstructed looking through that tag. Now, here's the other mistake, okay? So let's say you did the first part wrong. Right there's good, where you guys were. Here's the other mistake. If I've adjusted this way, now there's the possibility of me crossing the other plane of this play, which is the runner's body, okay? So if we have Jim coming in and there's become some sort of reaching tag, and I've put myself over here, now I've gone outside of the runner's body. And like John talks about, you've got to be in the window where the two things are going to come together. Okay. This is outside of that window. On the other side of Mike is outside of that window. We can see that right in this area is inside of that window where we're going to see the two things come together. Infield throw, short throw, closer is better. Okay, get comfortable with stepping forward into those plays because we know that we're not going to have a lot of time. We have the time that the ball leaves the infielder's hand till it gets to his mitt to adjust, to make a meaningful adjustment, and then we can follow with him as he reaches for the tag. But we need to improve the impact of our adjustment, and the only way we can do that is by getting closer.
The wedge takes some time to get used to. Can you guys see my little cursor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gets in here. What is so nice, and actually even from that video, I learned how I need to work on staying on the hip. What I've been doing is getting in my A position and getting cement feet. So what I've actually found, and he talks about, is if the throw goes up the line a lot, you want to cross over to kind of get this view, because now I've given myself too much space in the catcher. Problem is you're cutting right in front of that runner. So I really like how he says you move with the catcher, even up when he moves, she or he here moves up into foul up that third base, stay with them. Because what's so nice with the wedge, and you're going to see this, is if you ever throw up this line, being in the wedge, you take that little step in right here, you get to look right up this line. So you see those swipe tags. If you have the play come to the plate and you're in this nice wedge, I find myself, okay, the play's coming in, I'm circling around, and I'm right here looking through the play. Oh, I tell you, the first time you make a play from out here in E, all you're going to do is remember the major league guys making a call, and you're like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how well you can see it. It really is, from the old kind of first base extended over into here and then come in for your call. Working the wedge, it takes some time. It's not easy. Oh, I think it literally took me 2 years, and Paul can tell you, Kathy Graff was on me every stinking week, every other day to do it. And when she's on you, Paul, isn't that yeah.
Okay, question.
Yeah. Yep.
I might have missed a little bit toward the end there. I might have been taking a note. So when the catcher went up the line, let's say approximately where the third baseline meets the batter's box,
Yep.
maybe a little to the left of that, you're saying we as the umpire should maintain the basically call it a 6 foot distance, actually come a little closer to the catcher at that point?
Yes. And that's, like I said, even watching this, that is going to help, because I can tell you that I've been back here in A still.
Yeah.
That exact move where that catcher goes up that line some and off the foul territory, I've gotten in trouble. Not that I've missed a call, but maybe I'm crossing the runner late to get the best angle. When if I was up that line, I can look right through there. I don't need to swing in front of the runner to get
Right.
a angle. What I will do is, I'll send out, I've got this tape, I'll send out. There's another one that's a little more softball specific. The problem is it's so new. It's whose are you using exactly? There isn't this is literally what the state sent out. this
When-
slide here.
When you say, I got a couple different things. One was that they emphasize staying on the hip. Does that mean their left hip or their right hip?
I'm pretty sure it's right hip.
Okay, because then I think they also kind of said maybe stay within the framework of the catcher, or maybe I paraphrased that.
Well, I
So
think that's the same thing as staying inside, staying on their hip. Don't get too
Okay.
far. Don't get that separation. Like I've been doing is when they move up the third baseline, staying in A.
Right, yeah, yeah, I would have been working the angle sort of, like I think you were talking about before, been more concerned about the angle than moving up.
Yeah,
And then you, like you said, you might be right in the path of the runner or something.
which happened. But I tell you that first, I mean, he is right. 95% of the calls, we're gonna get there. That one of those, that 5%er, and you're swinging around here in the E in the fair territory, and you're looking right through the play.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's a click in your head. You're like, why haven't I always been doing this?
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, you don't want to be, you want to be able to see the tag. You don't want to be looking through the bodies as the tag is applied.
Yeah. Oh, because yeah, there's some great videos, some YouTube videos showing the major league guys doing this. And yeah, it's just, and it's a natural, once you get it, it's very natural. Because you're always want to be, I want to keep that best angle, and you're just going to move to it. Any questions, Kathy? You kind of understand that? Wait, I asked you, your first response was this.
No, you said any questions? I said,
Oh,
no,
yes, you
you
are.
understand it, yes.
Okay. Correct.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's tonight. And what I will do, put some stuff together. Send it out. I also want to know that last year's test for the answer, because my understanding is that is this year's test with a couple of COVID things added. Oh, we got the info to Jason. They're sending this. Who's echoing? But yes, they're sending a state, and then my understanding is they're going to send out everybody's individual ID number for taking the test.
That is also that's also what I've heard.
Yep.
That's what they're waiting for, is all the chapter rosters to go in and get verified. And then whoever the guy is for the state will assign each individual person an ID number. And those will go out to us or to Jason, and he'll send them out to everybody. And then you get online yourself and do your test.
And we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how that goes, and I'll be the guinea pig. I'll get it done early, and we'll go from there.
So you sent out are you kind of done with that subject? I don't want to interrupt.
Nope.
You sent out something about a tournament in Auburn. Is that one of the first summer ball things?
That's one of the ones. Yeah, local. Actually, it's kind of early. Oh, I don't have the dates in front of me. That's
It's
one.
early June, I think. Yeah.
The first one is the middle of June, and the second one is the week after the 4th of July.
Now, to do those, you do need to be USA. Oh,
Yep.
Background check and
Yep.
certified. I know I go through Craig, Allen, and Cortland, because I do the summer league, which is also USA. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I know if you have Craig's, give him an email. Actually, on that note, I need to check with him and see what he's doing. I believe it's $40 for that chapter. And then I think
And then
the background check's about 20.
40 to register with USA and another 11 for the background check.
Or is it, I think it's 13. I think it went up $2.
Okay, 13.
Not unless you did it early.
Yeah. The big push was save the $2.
I did.
I did too, actually. Oh,
And most of the mechanics that we're discussing, like umpiring behind home plate and things like that, those are going to apply for summer ball also. Right?
yes. Yeah. Oh,
And the ball rotation and that stuff we discussed last week.
ball rotation is going to depend on your tournament. Well, I know last year doing summer tournaments here and around, everybody went to the teams handling the ball. So I hope it stays. I hope we never have to touch them again. I love it.
Yeah. The summer ball, they don't have as good of a budget normally. You might get some mush balls in the summer. You have to maybe watch it a little more closely.
But I tell you one thing, they go after their foul balls when they're responsible for them.
Yeah, that's good.
Any other questions? Okay, hey, thanks, everybody. Like I said, I'll get you some stuff out with the wedge. Oh, to look at and to read. And the 2000 and the last year's test.
Okay, good job, John. Thank
Hey,
you.
John,
Oop, Paul?
yeah, before everybody gets off, you talked about last year's test. This year's test is only gonna be 50 questions. They're gonna draw from last year's test.
Yep.
Yeah, you won't have 100 questions to do.
Okay,
Sounds good. Hey, have a good night, everyone. I got
See ya.
okay, night.
go see if my 8-year-old cleaned her room.
Good
Right,
luck.
right.
Who checks your room?
She does.
See you later.
Gosh, I believe that too.
Hey, Paul,
Right.
I got a message from Kathy, our college assigner. That's,
Well, at least she sent it to you, not to me.
oh, geez, I got 4 of them. Yeah. Oh, great. She wants all the games in Arbiter tonight. I said, oh, okay. I'll get him in.
Well, I'll check it over the weekend.
Okay, talk to you. See everybody later. Have a good night.
Bye, man.